Rampage and Battle of the Belts 6, I believe. Now, it's just going to say Battle of the Belt 6 and more, but I decided I'm going to do Rampage, then I'll do Battle of the Belt 6. Now, I got to say, before I get started, thank you for anyone who watched my SmackDown review. I didn't expect so many people to look at it. I'm a nobody. I didn't expect anyone to even like my SmackDown review, let alone give me over 200 views on it. Thank you. I'm very honored that anyone even looked. But instead of talking about honor, let's look what we got. Rampage. We got a FTW rules match between Ethan Page and Hook. Now, they stated the last time that ever happened was 1999, when ECW was still in existence, since anyone has done a match like that. Why was it on Rampage? If this is so freaking special over Taz's belt, why wasn't it done for Dynamite? Why couldn't you make this special for Dynamite? I'm sorry. It's not about the match quality. I'm not taking anything away from it. It was fine, and Hook won. It was alright. The first time Hook had real competition, it was hard for him, because it was hard to beat Ethan. He did beat him. There you go. But if this is a very rare thing that no one has done in so long, 24, 25 years, I believe, why wasn't it done on Dynamite? This could have been a special added attraction. Yes, it wouldn't have been very long, but at least it would have been special for Dynamite. I'm just saying. The Acclaimed having a match against the Infantry and somebody else, I can't remember the guy's name, with Daddy Magic, because they're trying, supposedly, to get the Acclaimed to join the JS. And seeing Daddy Magic saying, "Do you know what make my nipples hard? Having a match with the Acclaimed and joining us," and then whoops their ass after the match is over. And the Acclaimed and Daddy Magic basically destroys the Infantry and that other guy, I can't remember his name right now. It's the first time I saw him. And I've said this, and I mean it. I am bad with names until I see you more than just twice or 3 times. I tend to forget. I'm just saying. Now, we're going to have a feud between the Acclaim and JS. I'm not going to say it's good or bad yet, because it needs to develop. Now, the match that was quite surprising, supposedly in my neck of the woods in Lower Manhattan, Darby Allin decided to go skateboarding and then get run over by a car. Now, when you see after his destruction from Brian Cage, they zoom in on his back, you can see the road rash he's got. But being told that he just got hit by a car in Manhattan, and he was cleared to wrestle in Rhode Island. If you believe it or not, it's not something you want to see, particularly that it really does look like he got hit by a car, because you can see the damage to his skin on his right side. But being told that multiple times, it makes you kind of feel 2 things. One, Darby Allin's a beast that he can take anything. But then it makes you a little worried, because even though he was cleared, should he really have wrestled? Really? Because if you get hit by a car, that's traumatic. And he's already was in a car crash with his uncle, and he died from it. And that was his uncle. And it's one of the reasons why Darby feels the way he does in real life. He feels like a part of him is missing, because not only his uncle died, it's because he lost it in the car crash. So seeing that he was in that car crash was not something great for him. And then possibly actually getting hit by a car and almost run over by that car completely. Luckily he didn't get hurt. If it's real. He shouldn't have wrestled. He needed a break. He needed therapy. But he won the match. And afterward, seeing that Swerve Strickland did say a promo saying, "I'm going to be teaming up with somebody. That the mobile affiliates are not over because you took out some of my partners. I got it. I got what I need." We got Prince Naga. I believe it's pronounced Naga or Nagi. I always forget his name because I rarely see him. If I watch ROH, if I got a chance to, then I remember, I think it's Prince Nagi. I could be wrong. I understand if you say the name, I'll still forget unless I watch him. But seeing Brian Cage completely F10 oh man, he looked like he hit his face hard on the ramp, guys. I'm not lying here. When you look at Darby Allin getting F10 onto that ramp, he looks like he went boom. It could have got a damn concussion from how hard he hit. I'm hoping he's alright. Because he already just got hit by a car and then he does that move. Does not bode well for him. But it is good seeing that the Moby affiliates and the embassy are working together because Swerve had no one to work with. The other guys are gone. I'm just saying. Now, let me give it to you like this. The Julia Hart and Anna Jay match. Now, the vid pack they had didn't look very good because when it came to Julia, she just didn't sound right. They didn't set the voice on her correctly when they recorded that, so it was incredibly low and then it had to come up. That was a bit of a botch on the production. Someone messed up. But was it bad? No. I was cool with it. Now, when we had the match, she looked good for about 1 minute, Julia Hart, because the way she absorbed the hits from Anna Jay, if she was allowed to just act almost like a PCO, that her mind is possessed so much by the House of Black that any hit she took she doesn't get affected at all. Yes, she'll hit the floor and everything, but when she gets back up, takes hits in the face or the body, she just absorbs it. I think that's the way she should be. Because let's be honest, I don't know how she wrestles on Dark and Dark Elevation. Maybe she does it better. Here she did not. It was a bit of a sloppy match. Didn't like it that much. Even though seeing the character of Julia Hart finally getting a match on Rampage, yeah. And I'd rather see it on Dynamite. We haven't seen her wrestle at all for a while. At least on the main shows. It was fine. But I really do believe to make her look better, because Julia is still Julia. She doesn't seem to still have that seasoning yet. She's still young. She's only 21. And she literally needs more time to be seasoned. I just don't think she's there yet. If she was just there to be allowed to take hits to the face and not flinch and just look blank, that would have helped the character a lot. Even if she lost or won with the miss, which she did, when she threw the chair into the ring and the ref got it out and then she missed it, Anna Jay, that was fine. But I truly believe that she needs to be like mind controlled, that she can just take pain and not feel anything. That's just me. When it came to Rampage, it was not bad. It wasn't great. The Hook and Ethan Page should have been on Dynamite instead of Rampage, because that was a special match that has not been seen in 24 freaking years. Or what's it, 25? I'm just saying. Battle of the Belts. Orange Cassidy versus, what was it? Rush's brother, Del Listico? I could be wrong how I'm pronouncing it. I'm sure I am wrong. But it's Rush's brother who's doing this match. And his mask looks so much like the original Mystico. I know that masks, they can look the same. I mean, that's obvious. Mystico mask is very popular, and I'm sure many other people wear it similarly. But it made me think of Mystico, Sin Cara. At least the Hinako, first Sin Cara, then the actual Mystico who became Sin Cara later, and then they had Sin Cara versus Sin Cara, which was the worst match anybody's ever seen. He has that type of mask. It wasn't a bad match, but I'm not going to say it was great. I think it was due to the fact there was no build. At least not on Rampage much, or maybe it was because I've been able to see Rampage constantly because of all the stuff that was coming out. Multiverse United, then everything else that's been going on lately, getting set up for WrestleMania, Super Card of Honor. I have barely managed to see Rampage for weeks. because I was doing Multiverse and Supercard. I missed 2 weeks of that. So if there was a setup in the last 2 weeks, I missed it. So maybe there was a setup for that. I just didn't see it. But it wasn't a bad match, and I'm fine with it. And now, supposedly, House of Black spoke after the match was over. And it was made clear that Buddy, he wants the title. I'm surprised that Malachi didn't do it. But it's Buddy? I don't understand why they're letting Buddy do it. Not Malachi. I think Malachi should be the one to do it. But that's just me. You guys tell me below if you think Buddy was better than Malachi. I think Malachi should have gone after him instead of Buddy. I'm just saying. Because it's more obvious that Buddy's going to lose than Malachi Black would lose. Okay. Mark Briscoe. This is where it gets interesting. Mark Briscoe gets confronted by Jay Lethal after he was asked by the interviewer at the time. I can't remember her name. How did you feel about losing the TV title from ROH? And he said, don't worry about it, brother. I will be trying to get that damn title again. And I'm just going to go forward. And then Jay comes to him and say, look, how long we been working together? How long we known each other? Almost 20 years or more. I'm proud of you for the way you've acted. I'm proud of you for how you keep going. And my heart hurts knowing what has happened to you. But I got a question for you. Knowing each other the way we do, why don't we work together? And Mark's going like, why not? They shake hands. And then everybody else shows up. Sanjay Dutt, Satnam Singh, and the Double J. And when you see Mark's face, says, what the fuck is this? I thought it was, man, what's this? And he didn't walk away from it, but he stood there and took it. So it's obvious they may go for an angle of Mark having to work with them, even though he doesn't want to work with them. He wants to work with Jay Lethal. And I think this is going to help him springboard a little bit more into the main title of ROH. Or the main title on AEW normal television. One of the two. I don't know which one we're going to see. I really hope he goes for the TNT title. That's where I think he belongs. But they may throw him into ROH there because he's still synonymous there and people really do like to see him there. But honestly, I'd rather see him get the TNT title. I'm just saying. Billy Starks versus Jade Cargill. Now, here's something I got to say that I'm angry about. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Baby, I am so damn pissed. We had, before that match, Jade Cargill and Taya Valkyrie with a sit down because of the move they both used. Jade and Jaded and Road to Valhalla. And pretty much the negotiator, you know who he is, basically is trying to make it from not going to court. And pretty much Jade said, this one needs to not do that. This one needs to know her place. And Taya, I wish was done. Guys, I wish this had been done on Dynamite. I wanted this done on Dynamite because Jade has worked on her stick. And I'm glad she's improved. But there's no way Jade Cargill is better than Taya at this moment. And not taking anything from Jade, she can talk. Her attitude fills in where her talking and on mic is not that great. That is what I like about Jade Cargill. She acts like someone from the hood that has reached the point where she got some good stuff and she's going to make sure that she keeps her position. So she just is a little bit on the edge of being a hood rat, but not. If anyone knows what a hood rat is, you know what I mean. She's just on the edge of out of being a hood rat. But Taya destroyed her. And that is the way it goes because she made it very clear. Girl, I'm not saying this is what she said. She's saying, girl, listen. This move's been used by everybody for decades with the best people that ever been done. I have used it for years. And you, who thinks you got some just because you're a snack, cannot compare. She did say, you just been around just as long as having a cup of coffee. Pretty much. But I'm saying, you think you so much because you just a snack. You ain't nothing. I am staying power. I am Taya Valkyrie. And pretty much when Jade Cargill said, bitch, I knew there could be a fight, which it wasn't, but I knew there could be one. I want to see this more on Dynamite. This is where the title can be elevated and where the person who's holding the title can be elevated. We're talking about Taya Valkyrie, one of the most well-known, well-loved, well-respected wrestlers of the damn business. One of my personals, I love me Taya. The first time I saw her in Impact Wrestling, I didn't see her in Lucha Underground. I saw her in Impact. I knew there was something special. I think it was 2013 or 14 that I saw her. I can't remember. When I saw her, I knew there was something about her that was different. I knew when she came out as the goddess of Valhalla, she was something special. And this could elevate Jade way more than anyone she's faced yet. Because not only does Taya have the personality that is just as big as hers, not only do they use the same move, and they are going there using the move to bring them as a feud. Let's go there. It's okay. Not all the time we need to do that because it's overdone so many times. But in this situation, this is the first time in AEW history that two people are using the same move and they have to bring it up. If this was WWE, not many people would care. It would be what they've always done. Impact, the same thing. But this is the first time in AEW's history. So it's fresh, even though we've seen it so many times. I'm just saying it should have been done on Dynamite. This should have been done on Dynamite, and it should have happened, but it didn't. What did we get from Billie Starkz? Maybe Ricky Stark's sister, which she's not. 18 years old. She's been in the business for 4 years. She's been around the world a couple of times. She's a good wrestler. She got a big-ass bruise, I believe, on her right thigh. That sucker was big, if that was a bruise. Let me give it to you like this. Do I believe she was better than Jade in the ring? She was more polished, but she's only been in the business 4 years, so she still needs more practice. Jade, who's been in there now nearing 2, or maybe hit 2 by now, you could see that Jade, after getting the spit smacked out of her mouth, didn't take it that well. She started pounding the shit out of her. Now, was that part of a stick? Yes, it is. Do I believe that she managed to gel with this girl well? It's the first time they felt, well, they had the chemistry near the end of the match before Jaded. At least enough. They would need to work together more for them to really gel correctly, because it did feel like Jade didn't know how to throw out of the ring correctly or hit her at least correctly enough to make it really look good. And when it came to Billie, she did know what she was doing. But since Jade is still a little inexperienced in how to deal with her, it looked like it was off. That's just me. And pretty much when it was when Taya walked out in those high heel boots like this, got near the ring, basically laid out Jade and ready to give that road to Valhalla to her, I'm going like, this could work. If they book this correctly, which there's only one way to book it. I must iterate this. Iterate. If that's the way it's pronounced. I always forget. I just got to say this. Jade must drop that title to Taya. I am not glad to see someone come in to get that title so quickly. It is not something I want for many people. But here's the thing. We are what, 54 or 55 and 0 for Jade Cargill? She needs to drop the title and move on to the main title scene. She's developed enough. She's ready. Keeping her with the TBS title is hurting her. I don't know about anybody else. Me personally, this is the truth. Jade needs to drop the damn title now. She's elevated as far as she can go, and the title itself, which had no prestige behind it, didn't really give her much. It only gave her certain boosts. When she started here, she's here. Taya is here. Right now, if I'm right, I do believe she's still the featherweight champion of MLW. I'm not sure. Haven't checked MLW in a while. So I don't know if she's still champ. But she was the featherweight. Let her get this damn title. She has prestige behind her. She's been multi-time Impact champion. She's been I believe she's won at least Lucha Underground's title a couple of times. She's now been the featherweight champion of MLW when they've never had... Those motherfuckers never had a women's title. Both iterations. Only now in the second iteration did they finally decide to give women a title. In both iterations, only recently have they had a featherweight title. How long has MLW been back? Since 2016, I believe, or 15? Because they went away around 2005 or 6? Because I believe they started up around the same time as ROH or Impact Wrestling. I believe they started up just around the same time. So they went around 2006, I believe, or 5. I can't be sure about the time. I just know they stopped. And they came back around, 2015 or 14 or 16. Either 14, 15, or 16 they came back. I think it was 15. And then Booker T. No, not Booker T. Then they came back. They've been working for years to try and rebuild themselves. And only recently, the last year or so, they had the title. I'm just saying. Was this a good 2-hour back-to-back show? Rampage and Battle of Belts. It was okay. It wasn't something spectacular. Admittedly, that segment with Taya and I wanted that on Dynamite. Jade Cargill with Taya on there, seeing Taya have that type of attitude, I think it would really help their feud. Because that's what this should be. They need to be a feud. If Jade wins against Taya, Taya should not back off. She is the only person currently at the size of a Jade Cargill that can truly compete other than one person that exists. One. And that is Camille from an NWA. I would love to see Camille go against Jade Cargill. They're both similar size, similar strength, similar attitude. I want to see the Brick House versus that bitch. But I know I'm not going to see it unless Jade goes to NWA or Camille goes to AEW or there's a collab. That's the only way. But that's just me. Peace.